This is an instructional video intended to help you set up your Bloodthirsty Betty animated prop from Spirit Halloween. After taking everything out of the box, your parts should include the head with shoulder form and fabric piece, the adapter, 2 legs with feet and metal wires, the clothing piece, 2 arms with hands and metal wires, 1 singular small pole, a larger pole with a notch on it, the base, the hip form, the control box, and a bag with 6 zip ties and 6 screws. First, locate the base, and make sure that throughout the rest of her setup, the front of the base is always facing the front. Now grab the small singular metal pole and insert it into the base, aligning the 2 holes on the pole with the 2 holes on the plastic notch on the base. The pole will need to be screwed in with 2 screws, 1 on either side of the notch. Now grab the larger pole with the plastic notch on it and insert the notch into the other pole on the base. Make sure the smaller section pointing upward is facing the front and the longer section with the Velcro strip is facing the back. You will also have to screw in this pole to the other pole with 2 screws on either side. Now grab the head with shoulder form and locate the plastic notch that is directly under the head. Using that notch, attach the head to the upward facing portion of the pole that you just screwed in. Once you have fully slid the head in, you will see that on the back of the plastic piece there's a spot that says screw here. Insert 1 screw into that spot. Now locate the control box. Attach the control box using the hooks at the front of the base, ensuring that all of the jacks for different plugs are facing upward. Now connect all of the corresponding wires coming from the control box and coming from the head. Also locate the IR sensor wire and insert that into the control box. Now take each of the legs. Do not change them from the squished shape that they are in, but bend the excess part of the wire out until it is at a 90-degree angle with the foam. Moving around to the very back of Betty, there is a plastic connector piece for each of the legs on the base. Insert the right leg into the slot that is farther up on the plastic connector piece. The hole should be at the top left of the piece. Then take the left leg and connect that to the slot that is closer to you on the connector piece. That should be inserted into a hole that is at the bottom right of the connector piece. Now taking 2 zip ties, zip tie the legs tightly onto the base. Cut off the excess from each of the zip ties. Now grab the hip form and using the Velcro strip that is on the inside of the hip form, attach it to the Velcro strip that is on the metal pole. Once the hip form is securely attached, fold down the fabric piece coming from the head and Velcro it to the very top of the hip form. Now grab the clothing piece and opening it up at the bottom, slide it all the way over Bloodthirsty Betty's head. Make sure the side of the clothing that is going to be on her back and facing upwards has the openable section of Velcro strip. You will need to open up the Velcro strips a bit in order to slide it fully over the head. Take each of the arms and unfold them into an almost straight position if they aren't like that already. Now slide the arms up through the sleeves and connect them to the corresponding holes and slots that are on the solid piece of plastic underneath of the shoulder form. Now using another 2 zip ties, secure the arms tightly to the plastic piece. Now cut off the excess from each of the zip ties. Locate the IR sensor on Betty's left shoulder and peel back the 2 pieces of paper to reveal the sticky strips that can allow you to secure the hole on the clothing around the IR sensor like this. Once you've done that, pull up the rest of the clothing around the shoulder form and then Velcro it together with the Velcro strips. There is also a Velcro strip at the front collar of the clothing that needs to be connected to a Velcro strip at the bottom of her neck. Rotating Betty around to the back, locate each of the elastic pieces at the bottom edge of the clothing and attach those around each of the feet. Once you've done that, there should be a Velcro strip that you can find at the center bottom of the clothing, and that needs to be attached to a Velcro strip at the very bottom of the hip form. If you're using Betty in the ground position, then you are already good to go. But if you're using her in either of the wall mount positions, popping up or popping backwards, you are going to need to grab the head and slowly lift up on it until it is in an upright position. The head should now pop from a 90-degree position to a 180-degree position. If you're using her in specifically the back bend position, the control box is not going to hang properly on the hooks that you previously attached it to, as they only face in one direction. So in order to secure it down, you are going to have to use duct tape or some other not included material. If you're going to use her wall mount facing the ground, then go ahead and hang her up on a nail that is securely into a stud using the plastic hook at the very back of the base. But if you're going to be using her in the wall mount back bending position, then you're going to have to use a screw and screw it straight into the wood at the top of the base through to a stud in the wall. Plug in the included 6-volt 2-amp DC adapter into the control box. Bloodthirsty Betty's control box has a switch that can be in the on position or IR sensor, which is what you would want her on now. It could be in the off position where it will not activate whatsoever, or the step pad position if you have an attached step pad. It also has a jack for all the trimies, like the trimey button or the multi-prop remote control receiver. There's also a jack for specifically the step pad, and a jack for an external speaker. At the front of the control box, there is a volume control knob and also a battery pack for 4 AA batteries, which can be used instead of the adapter. Plug the adapter into an outlet, and your setup for Bloodthirsty Betty is complete.